Peace and blessings, everybody. Anjane here, and as always, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for being here. Honestly, it's been, for me, a couple of weeks since I recorded, so it always feels nice to be sitting in this space and be here with you guys. There have been a lot of changes in my life, for the better, of course. With summer slowly approaching, it's definitely the time for everything to start blooming and blossoming. Hi, Solar. Mommy's recording, baby. Go to your bed. Go to your bed. Go. Good girl. With summer slowly approaching, everything is finally starting to bloom and blossom in my life, and I'm hoping the same for yours. So, for today's class, I have a two-part Vinyasa sequence for you guys. This part is for the warm-up portion, where we're kind of preparing ourselves and prepping the body to make it to our peak pose for this class, which will be Eagle. So if you guys are excited and pumped and ready for that, grab whatever props or smudges you may need. We'll meet right back here on the mat, and let's dive right in. So I'm on a little bit of a time crunch. I have a business meeting in a little bit, so this is me trying to bang out this video while I can, hence why I'm still in my socks and my t-shirt. You know, sometimes you just gotta meet yourself wherever you are, and for me that happens to be right here, right now, as I naturally am. So I like doing these kind of videos, the two-part series. It seems to be that that's one that you guys typically prefer. I got a really lot of great buzz around the last time that I recorded a two-part series. So I'm hoping that you guys kind of resonate with it. As always, I have Palo Santo for my smudge. Now for this class, I'm not using props. However, if a balancing posture is a little bit hard on you, then I would highly suggest it. We are going to be on our knees for a little bit of the portion of this warm-up part. So if you want to get a rolled up blanket, that would be really great to have to place underneath your kneecaps whenever we make it to there. And without further ado, I also want to thank you guys. It looks like we finally made it to 100 plus subscribers. I think the last time I looked, I was sitting at a comfy 109. So much love to you guys for resonating with my vibe and my yapping mouth. So we will go ahead and start this class in a child's pose posture. So if you want to come up to all fours, expanding your knees to the wide edge of your mat, big toes to touch. Just go ahead and sink your hips back, melting your chest and your heart forward. Option to leave your neck at a elevated stance or to melt your forehead or third eye to the mat. Can you move these necklaces out my way? And we'll just take a couple of cleansing breaths here just to synchronize our energy, be present, be well. Taking an inhale, breathe in. And exhale it out. Two more times just like that. Inhale. And exhale. And for the last one, activating your Ujjayi breath, just so you can channel all of that good energy on the inside. Inhaling. Holding at the top, and restrict your prana, taking an exhale with your lips sealed or mouth closed. Taking a moment. Focusing your awareness and intention on right here and now. Coming up to our fingertips, we're going to walk our hands over to the left side of the room or the mat. Melting yourself down, option to stack your right wrist on top of left. Stretching out the right side of your body and rib cage, abdomen, obliques. Coming back up to those fingertips, walking over to the right side, melt your hands down, stacking your left wrist on top of your right as an option. Taking a breath in and a breath out. And finally, walking our hands back towards the middle of the mat, we're going to ground our forearms, pulling ourselves up, leaving that tailbone facing up towards the back of the room. Take your toes and fan them back out. Bring your knees in line with your hips. Walking your arms a little bit forward, we're coming into puppy dog pose or melting heart pose. Remembering to breathe. And exhale. Slowly starting to lift yourself up. We should be perfectly placed for a tabletop position. You want your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. So if you need to adjust your stance, you can. As y'all always know, I'm hoping for the best with this microphone. Me doing this in a t-shirt might not work in my favor, but we're going to make it work however we can. So we're going to start with a couple of just neutral cat-cows, doing it in an intuitive way, which means doing whatever feels good to your body. We'll do this about 4 times. Inhale, rolling your shoulders back and down. Shift your gaze forward. Expanding your abdomens. Really stretch it out. On the exhale, tuck your tailbone down. Allow your chin to be last, rounding in your spine, coming into cat. Inhale, coming up for cow. Exhale, scoop it down for cat. Let your chin be last. Do everything one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Coming into our last one, inhale one more cow. Your spine should be nice and lubricated. And exhale, cat. Tuck your tailbone first, then your rib cage, allowing your chin to be last, bringing it to your chest. Coming back to a neutral tabletop, and again, this is the perfect place to place that rolled up blanket if this is a little bit hard on your knees. We're going to place our pressure into these right toes, bringing them to a point. Extend your left leg to the back of the room and just leaving it on the mat. Synchronizing our breath with movement here, we're going to come into a couple of leg pulses. So find an inhale, lifting that left leg, squeeze your left glute, pointing through your left heel. Exhale to lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Breathe in. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Lifting this left leg back up. Pushing through that left heel. Really ground your toes towards the floor. Find a slight bend in this left knee, crunching everything in, knee to nose. Breathe in. Exhale, extend. Inhale, scoop everything in. Exhale, extend. 2 more, breathe in. Exhale, extend. Last one, and listening for the change. Inhale, scoop everything in. And on your exhale, extend that left leg behind you. Cross it over to the right side. Perfect. Bend slightly in this left knee and shimmy both knees to the middle of your mat. We're coming into cow face legs. You want your toes facing opposite direction. Start to send your hips towards your heels, and we'll just pulse here a couple of times to where one of your knees starts to lift. Inhale and rise. Exhale and lower. Inhale and rise. Exhale and lower. And each time you pull, see if you can get that hip or your hips further back. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Breathe in. Exhale. Last one, and listening for the change. Inhale up. And on the exhale, we're going to fully send our hips towards our heels, extending your arms out in front of you and just melting your heart down. Even if you have a seat on your glutes, walk your hands forward and melt your chest low. Using our fingertips to walk our body upright, we're going to uncross this right leg, extending our left towards the edge of the mat. We're going to come to the middle. Option here to take the sole of your right foot, placing it inside of this left thigh. We're coming into a seated forward fold. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this right leg behind me, just like that. Or actually, I'm going to turn this way. So left leg is extended. I'm going to bend this right leg behind me. Inhale, extending your arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale and fold. Option to bend generously in this left knee should your body need it. Coming to our last breath here. Slowly using your fingertips to walk your body upright. Find an inhale, extending both arms up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, we're twisting towards the right, placing your left hand on the outside of this right thigh, even if your right thigh is bent into your left. Making sure you push through that left heel, toes facing you, make this active. Taking a breath in and exhale it out. Squaring our hips forward, we're going to bring our right foot to meet our left. Slowly hinging from the hips, coming into a forward fold. Using our fingertips to walk our body upright, we're going to kick our legs to the side, meeting back in a tabletop position. I'm going to turn in the opposite way to how I was. So we're back here in our tabletop, and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Extending this right leg to the back of the mat, coming to a point, and we'll start with a couple of these leg pulses. Inhale to lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift, squeezing those glutes. Exhale to lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Breathe in. Squeeze that right glute. Exhale. Last one, and listening for the change. Right leg rises. Exhale, knee to nose. Crunch it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Knee to nose. A couple more times. Breathe in. Push through that heel. Activate your calf. Exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Last one, listening for the change. Inhale, extend. Exhale, cross it over to the left side, bending in both knees, and we'll shimmy closer towards the middle of the mat. Starting with our little pulses. Inhale, send your hips back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So we're here in our cow face pose. We're going to do a couple of cat cows here. Inhale, rounding your shoulders back and down. Exhale, scoop everything in. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Two more. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Returning back to a neutral spine, we'll start with a couple of those pulses. Start to send your hips towards the back of the room on your exhale. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. This time, sending your hips all the way back. Exhale to lower. Even if you find yourself sitting on that right glute, extend your arms in front of you and fold. Slowly using your arms to pull your body back upright. Ground those knees on the mat. Uncrossing your legs and meeting back in our child's pose. Big toes to touch. Sink your hips back. Melting forward. Slowly starting to walk your fingers in. We're going to close down our knees, staying on this left leg, leaving it bent. Seeing if you can wiggle this right foot out and allowing yourself to have a seat on that right glute. And if this is too uncomfortable for you, having the knee bent, option to take your left foot and just place it inside of that right thigh. We're going to come into a seated forward fold here, so there's a lot of options. Find a breath in, extending your arms up towards the ceiling. Pointing through that right heel, let your toes face you. Make sure your shoulders are down and away from your ears. And on your exhale, starting to hinge forward and just coming into a seated forward fold. Bend generously in this right knee if you need it. Allowing yourself to go to wherever your edge is. Remembering to breathe. Using your fingertips to guide your body back upright, we'll extend those arms back up towards the ceiling on an inhale. Exhale, twisting towards the left. Place your right hand outside of this left knee, looking directly behind, making sure you push through that right heel. Make this active. Squaring our hips back forward, bringing this left foot to meet our right. Hands are going to be on the outside of both glutes or outside of both thighs, and walking your hands forward, coming into a regular seated forward fold or Uttanasana. Taking your last breath here, and exhale it out. Using our fingertips to walk our body upright, we'll bend in the knees, meeting in the middle of the mat, just how we began the class, so that we may close out this first portion. Thank you guys for flowing alongside me. Please feel free to click on the second portion of this video, which is part 2. Well, that's 4, which is part 2. This portion was just a warm up to prep our body for our peak pose, which will be eagle. As always, it is my greatest pleasure to flow alongside you guys. Until next time, peace.